Hi everyone! Welcome back to my kitchen here in Munich. You obviously really like dumplings. If you haven't seen that video yet, just click it, okay? So I thought we have to offer you more dumpling recipes. And there's one very, very special dumpling recipe which I want to present to you today. It's like the BAM of the dumplings because it's called liver dumpling. It's liver dumpling soup, and we have to prepare dumplings from calf liver, which is a bit disgusting because I personally don't like liver, but I can promise you, if you feel the same, the liver dumplings are really different from eating liver and they are much better. That's what I think. Okay, stop talking. So take all the white bread, cut off the crust. Pour warm milk above. Stir a little, and then we let this rest for quite a while. Okay. Next is you take an onion. If it's a bigger one, straight. It shouldn't be too hot because we don't want the onions to burn or get really brown. They should get a little more glassy. Okay, and then we add the spices. We have some nutmeg. You can use a little more nutmeg than you think you need, because these dumplings may have a strong flavor of nutmeg. Then we have some parsley, which we will add, and I personally like to have a little bit of lemon zest in there too. It gives you a bit of a fresh and fruity aroma. Not too much, just a little. Okay? This is enough. So I turn it down and add a little more oil because I don't want it to burn. Alright? And we can leave it here for a couple of minutes with low heat. Oh, I forgot something. I will have to add marjoram as well. Alright. Now we have all the spices in here. And I can do the next step, which is to take care about the liver. And what I need is finely minced liver, and that is why I put it into this blender. And now you see it's quite soupy, it's quite fluent, and that is why we need a lot of sandwich toast to make it a bit drier. What I do next is, this has soaked up all the milk, so it's really soft now. And now we mixed everything. The minced liver. And the onions with the herbs. Mustard. 1 egg yolk. Plus another egg. Alright, that's all. And then we mix it together to make the dumpling dough. You might think, what is he cooking? Isn't that disgusting and isn't that very unusual? It isn't. Very common to have liver dumpling soup when you go skiing in the Alps. You go skiing and it's cold and you do sports and you lose a lot of power, and then you want to have a lunch at one of those huts. You go in there and you say, well, perfect is something that gives me back some energy. Then you have a hot liver dumpling soup. So what we have here now should be a dumpling dough, but it isn't. What can we do if this happens? There's way too much liquid in it. And there's one trick that you can use. You can add more bread. And if you really want to get it dry, I would suggest to add some breadcrumbs, because they are really dry and they are fine. And you add them, stir it, and then leave it for a while so the breadcrumbs can suck up a lot of the liquid and it gets a little drier. Okay, this is rested now for like, I would say almost half an hour, and you see it has become a bit more dry. What we need to do is to season it. I haven't done that before. You can season it really generously with salt and pepper, because it has to be sort of spicy. Mix it. Okay. We're going to cook them in a broth. I have pre-prepared this and it's here. It's slightly cooking, and if we put the dumplings in there it will stop cooking, and that is good, because it must not cook heavily, then the dumplings would fall apart. And in my wet hands I make this dumpling and pour it in here. Nice little dumplings, and put them into the hot broth and leave it there for 20-25 minutes. As it is something really traditional with a long history, there are of course a lot of different ways how to prepare it, and there's a second, less common but also well-known way how to cook it. It's not really cooking. You can also deep fry it, and then they get a dark crust. It's not that common. Normally you eat them with the broth. But it's good to know, because if some are left and you don't always want to eat them with the broth, you can also take the leftovers, cut them into pieces and pan fry it. Wow, now take a look at that. I had the liver dumplings in the soup for even more than half an hour on really low energy, and I ignored them, I left them alone, and they have come up. And now they swim on the top of the broth, and that means they are ready to eat now. So let's serve them. Yummy, yummy, yummy. The smell is really good. I like that. Oh, we can take a second one. Aren't they nice? That's the way it goes. That's the famous Bavarian Leberknödelsuppe. Do try this at home. I hope you like my channel. Please subscribe, tell your friends about it, and meet me again soon. Enjoy your meal.